What's happening out there, gym owners? It's Friday. Rolling into the gym. Get my sweat on first thing. Got a couple athletes to train today. Working with my dude, Mike. And then we got our college crew. A lot of business work, finishing up our sweeps. Getting prepped for our August is for Amigos, referral program. And then setting up open enrollment for our athletes for the fall, get our fall training block popping, get things moving, as all our athletes kind of head out into camps and stuff like that for the fall. Dan and myself and the rest of the crew will be out, at practices and, at a variety of schools, junior programs and such, getting things going. Super important, to get out in the community and give back a little bit. And, even if it's for free, I, call a lot of the coaches and people that work with, hey, we'd love to come down to camp and just kind of, work with the kids, run your conditioning session, warm the kids up, just show our face, get out there on the field when the kids are all dressed in their uniforms and kind of just like, add a little rah-rah spirit and fun, connect with the parents a little bit, connect with the rest of the coaching staff, right? A lot of these teams were at our facility for the last, 6, 8, 10 weeks, so it's important to go kind of reciprocate and get out to them and see what they're doing. So, all right, today's tip is on leadership and management. And, it's kind of what I'm going to call, let's call this the resting bitch face. All right. And, one of the people that I admire in the industry who's kind of like done it a certain way for a long time, and I've seen such a transformation in himself. And then having connected with him quite a bit in the last 2 years and speaking with him and just how he's changed his perception of himself and how that translates to other people's perception of him. And that's just, Jay Ferruccio, right? Jay's, Renegade Strong, Renegade Strength Club, one of the top, coaches in the world probably, and been doing it a long time. One of the original OG, hardcore underground gym guys from the beautiful sunny state of New Jersey, right? And one of the things that I think that that resonated with me when I was out in Cali last year with Jay was just wearing a face, and it's really easy to be to come in every day with a scowl on and wearing, and you're telling people you're spreading negativity without even knowing it. Your body language and the face that you have is so important. So if you have something stressful and you're, even if something went wrong and you're pissed off, you got to really think about how you're going to bring bad news and negativity to your team, right? And so let's say something bad happened, and it's an example be 10 years ago I would have blasted into the gym, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Lose my mind over shit, right? And when it was just me and Dan and Trevor, and we were the one, Mike was training, it was a little different. I never really had to yell at Mike. He was always a fantastic coach. Great job, Mike, but me and Dan and Trevor were controlling all the marketing, the back end stuff, and there was a lot of mistakes. We weren't businessmen, we were dumbasses. We were a bunch of meathead coaches. So we'd screw up a marketing campaign, or we'd send out an email to the wrong list, or we'd do something bad, and I'd lose my shit, right? And, and I'd come in screaming and yelling and stuff like that. And, terrible leadership right there, Luckily, those guys got thick skin and were good friends, and they know it wasn't out of malice, it was just out of frustration, But that's not okay anymore. I got a big team and I got female working, and it's I can't come in every day and scream at Phoebe. That's not okay, right? I can't come in and scream at the girls at the front desk, or and even just the staff, the regular guys. People don't want to deal with that shit. They want to come to work and have a peace. I made a mistake, tell me what I did wrong, help me fix it, right? Let's move on together and make it right? So going into a situation with a puss on, right, or coming in the gym with that negative attitude, that's something that I've worked so hard on in the last couple of years, and it ain't easy, man. It ain't easy, because there's something every damn day whether it's a client, an employee, a home issue, right? I was up at 5 o'clock this morning, baby screaming, yelling, he must have a little tummy ache or something like that, dropped a giant deuce about the size of a basketball, right? And then he was all smiles, right? But from 5 to 6, he was a pissy, moaning, crying, I was like, what's mad? Why do I got to start my day like this, right? But that easily, derail you for the entire day, put things in a different perspective. Take a deep breath. My beautiful little boy, he's not even 2 years old. It is what it is, right? It's still have an amazing experience, and I got to come to work, and then I got to turn that positivity switch on. So when you bring in negativity, when you do have some negative today, or you have some constructive criticism, always try to approach it in a positive light. Hey, some of the things I'm about to talk about might not be exactly what you hear, but I want you to know that everything's okay, and we're going to work through it together, and we're going to make sure we come out the other side and fix it and move on together. It's not a indication of how I feel about you, or the hard work and effort that you've put in, right? Things like that, right? Let them know that you're acknowledging the good. That, hey, look, this is a little aberration, a little blip on the radar. You've done really, really great, but here's one or two things that we got to clean up, right? And it's like, okay, great. And that takes them off, right? So the analogy is if you douse a fire with gasoline, you just get a bigger fire, right? So if there's a little bit of a beef, or maybe like there was a little bit, like there's been some tension with you and a coach, or a staff member, or a client, going at them with like a negative attitude and making jabs, or like condescending comments and stuff like that gets you fucking nowhere, especially as a leader in your business, right? Your clients, come on, get the fuck out of here. Like if you're going and making comments, that doesn't fly. And I've done that shit, and I'm telling you that I was wrong, 100% wrong. And there was some times when I've said some things to clients, and maybe in outside of the business world, like if we were in my backyard at a barbecue and they had done what they had done, I would have been 1,000% right, and I probably would have never be friends with them, right? And I'd throw their asses out of my house, right? But in the business, I'm wrong no matter what it is, right? Because they're a paying customer, right? So however they are, you either have to ask them nicely to leave, right? Or find a way for them, or you zip it, you fix it, you have a professional adult conversation with them about, maybe something that they did was inappropriate. And the same thing goes with your employees. You have to treat them with respect. And how you bring energy into the gym and into your business, whatever business it is so critical, right? So here's a little tip from me, right? So one, I like to listen to music. I do my little truck talk sometimes. I'll listen to some banger music, right? In the morning, get my mind right. A little R. Kelly, world's greatest, right? Maybe a little Eminem, get me pumped up, right? Get me fired up. Hit a little Dr. Dre on the way in, and kind of get my mood going, right? And kind of get myself in a good mood. Give yourself 3 positives, right? No matter what's happening, give yourself 3 positives. What'd you do yesterday? What'd you do this week? What are you doing today? What's positive today? Positive today, I'm working with a kid, Mike, who, if you would have asked me last year if he had a shot at being a high-level college athlete, I would say, he's a really good kid. He works really, he shows up, but his body language and his effort wasn't there. This year, coached the shit out of him, spoke to him and his dad a bunch, got him going in a different direction. Kid's been an animal this summer, and he's really turning on. He's grown a lot. He's mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm really excited to work with Mike, and he's got a real opportunity to be a high-level college hockey player, right? We got our college crew. We got a couple weeks left, right? The next 2 or 3, this Friday is probably our last, balls out jailhouse Friday. We're going to crank the shit out of the music habit. There's lots of good. I'm going home early today. Friday's our early day. Everybody leaves early. I'm out of here by 3 o'clock. I'm going to go home, get my little dude. Oh, we have our summer stud barbecue. I forgot. I'm not going home early. Right? We're going to give away the heavyweight belt. So there's always something positive. Bring the positivity to your business first, right? And then address the negative in a positive way. Work on it constructively. See things from another way. That's for you, Mike. Right? And see things from another way. Put your perspective in somebody else's seat? How would you feel if you were sitting at your desk at 9 a.m. and you had really put in a hard work a week, but you messed up one thing, and your boss came in and lambasted you over something, or just came in and gave you the cold shoulder all day and made like little condescending jabs and shit like that? Come on, man. This is the real world. We're real people. We're big boys here. You got to get your shit together. Spread the positivity. Get rid of that negative shit.